Dad, I found a buyer for Mom's ring. My daughter Jennifer stood in my kitchen doorway, smiling, like she'd done something worth celebrating. I stared at her. The ring. Martha's ring. The one I'd slipped on her finger 43 years ago. The one that had stayed on her hand through chemotherapy, through hospice, through the last morning when her breathing finally stopped. You what? Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. Jennifer shifted her weight. The ring, Dad. Mom's wedding ring. I told you last month we needed it appraised for the estate documentation. I hadn't heard that. Or maybe I had, and my brain had rejected it like a bad transplant. Brad and I are taking the kids to Disney World next month. This vintage jewelry dealer offered $32,000. Can you believe that? I had no idea it was worth that much. $32,000. For a week of overpriced hotel rooms and mouse ears. You sold your mother's wedding ring. I said it slow. Wanted to make sure I'd heard right. That my 71-year-old brain wasn't playing tricks. Well, technically, I haven't sold it yet. He's coming by tomorrow to verify authenticity. But yes, Dad, it's just sitting in that box. No one's wearing it. This way, at least, it's doing some good. The kids will remember this trip forever, just sitting in that box. The rosewood box I'd made in my garage workshop, the one Martha had kept on her dresser, the one I'd been opening every morning for the past 8 months just to look at it. Where is it right now? At the jeweler's, getting cleaned and certified. He said, get it back. Jennifer laughed. Actually laughed. Dad, come on, be reasonable. It's a ring. Mom's gone. She wouldn't want it just sitting there when it could give the kids. Get it back. Her smile flattened. I'm the executor of Mom's estate. Legally, I have the authority to. That ring wasn't part of the estate. My hands were shaking. I set down my coffee mug, didn't trust myself to keep holding it. I gave it to your mother. When she died, it came back to me. It's mine. Actually, Dad, if you look at the probate documents, all jewelry is listed as, get out. She blinked. What? Get out of my house. You're being ridiculous. It's just a ring. Mom wouldn't have wanted you to. You didn't ask her. You didn't ask me. You just decided. I stood up. My chair scraped against the kitchen floor. The same floor Martha and I had installed together in 1989. You took it from the bedroom. From my bedroom. You went through my things. I used my key. I'm your daughter. I was just. Your key is for emergencies, not for stealing. Her face flushed. I am not stealing. I'm making a practical decision about an asset that's doing nothing but collecting dust. Do you know how much Disney World costs? We're talking about giving Emma and Liam experiences I don't give a damn about Disney World. Jennifer's mouth opened, then closed. In 37 years, I'd maybe raised my voice at her twice. Never like this. Get the ring back by tomorrow morning. Put it back exactly where you found it, or we're done. Done? What does that even mean? It means you don't come back here. It means you're not my executor anymore. It means you're not getting access to anything of mine ever again. She stared at me. You're having some kind of breakdown. Dad, I know you're grieving, but this isn't. Get out. Fine. She grabbed her purse off the counter. Fine. When you calm down and realize how crazy you're being, call me. But the ring is already at the jeweler's, and I'm not derailing this whole sale because you're having a moment. The door slammed. I heard her car start, gravel crunching as she backed out too fast. I sat back down. The coffee was cold. I'd poured it an hour ago, before Jennifer arrived, before I learned my daughter thought her mother's wedding ring was worth the same as a theme park vacation. The house was quiet. It had been quiet for 8 months. Since Martha died in our bedroom with me holding her hand. Since the hospice nurse said, she's gone. And I'd kept holding on anyway because letting go felt like a second death. That ring had never left Martha's finger, not in 43 years. When the swelling got bad during chemo, the nurses wanted to cut it off. She'd refused. Soaked her hand in ice water every night to keep the swelling down. Tom, she'd said, the day this ring comes off is the day I don't need it anymore. It came off 3 hours after she died. The funeral home needed to. I'd put it in the rosewood box, set it on my dresser, opened it every morning while I drank coffee. Sometimes I'd take it out, hold it. The gold was thin in spots from decades of wear. Martha had refused to have it replated, said she wanted to see the proof of their years together. Jennifer had taken it, walked into my bedroom, opened my dresser, took it to a jeweler for Disney World. My phone buzzed. Jennifer. Dad, I'm sorry I got frustrated, but you have to understand this is a good opportunity. The dealer rarely offers this much. If we wait, the market might change. I didn't respond. Another text. Please don't be stubborn about this. Think about Emma and Liam. They're only young once. I set the phone face down. Thought about Emma and Liam. My grandchildren, 7 and 9. I'd watched them 6 times in the past year. Always last minute. Always because Jennifer's regular sitter fell through. The last time was January. Jennifer had dropped them off at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. Said she'd be back by 2. Showed up at 7 p.m. smelling like wine. The lunch ran long, she'd said. No apology, no thank you. Just scooped up the kids and left. Emma had asked me that day why we never did fun things together, why Grandma never visited anymore. I'd tried to explain that Grandma had died, that she was in heaven. Emma had nodded, then asked if we could get McDonald's. Jennifer texted again. The appointment with the buyer is tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm not canceling. We need this money. Need, not want, need. I opened my laptop, looked at my bank account, then opened the folder on my desktop. Estate documents. Martha had been meticulous. Everything organized, everything labeled. I found what I needed in a file marked Tom's Assets. Separate property. The ring was listed, specifically noted as my separate property. Given by me to Martha, returned to me upon her death, not part of the marital estate, not subject to probate. Jennifer was wrong. She had no legal right to it. I called my lawyer, Harold Peterson. We'd gone to high school together. He'd handled Martha's estate. Tom, how are you holding up? I need you to send a letter to Jennifer. Today, if possible. What kind of letter? I told him. Harold was quiet for a moment. Then, I'll have it ready in an hour. Do you want me to email it or mail it? Both, and text her that it's coming. Tom, if you don't mind me saying, this seems like something you might want to cool down about before. I'm not cooling down. Send the letter. He did. At 4 p.m., Jennifer called. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. Dad, I just got a letter from Harold Peterson saying I'm being removed as executor and that if I don't return Mom's ring by tomorrow morning, you'll pursue legal action. Are you serious? Over a ring? Do you know how insane this makes you look? I played it twice. Listened to her tone. Not worried. Annoyed. Like I was being inconvenient. At 6 p.m. she texted, Fine, I'll get the ring back, but I want you to know you're throwing away your relationship with your grandchildren over a piece of metal. Emma and Liam will ask why Grandpa doesn't love them anymore. I'll tell them it's because Grandpa cared more about a ring than their happiness. I stared at that text for a long time. Then I started counting. $63,000 for the down payment on Jennifer's house. She'd bought it 5 years ago. Said she and Brad were stretched thin. Asked if I could help just with the down payment. I'd written the check the same day. She'd promised to pay me back when Brad's promotion came through. Brad's promotion came through 8 months later. I never saw a dollar. $28,000 for her wedding. Martha and I had saved for years. Jennifer had wanted the reception at the Hilton. Wanted the band that cost $3,000 for 4 hours. Wanted the dress from the boutique downtown that cost more than my first car. Martha had been so happy. Our baby girl, she'd said. Nothing's too good for our baby girl. Jennifer had invited 200 people. We'd met maybe 40 of them. $15,000 when Brad's business idea failed. Some kind of consulting startup. He'd quit his job, rented an office, printed business cards. 6 months later, he came back asking for money to keep the lights on until clients start coming. I'd given it to him. The business folded 3 months after that. Brad got his old job back. Never mentioned the $15,000. $12,000 for the new car 2 years ago. Our Toyota is dying, Dad. We can't afford a payment right now with the kids' school expenses. I'd co-signed. Then ended up making 4 months of payments when Brad got laid off. When he got hired again, Jennifer said they needed to rebuild their savings before taking the payment back. I was still making it. $8,000 for the furnace last winter. We're freezing, Dad. The repair guy said it's not fixable. We need a new one. I'd called the repair guy myself. Verified the furnace was shot. Sent the money the same day. Count the small things. The $500 here for Emma's gymnastics fees. The $300 there for Liam's hockey equipment. The $200 for groceries when money was tight. The $150 for the electric bill. The $400 for the emergency vet visit. Add it up. Sit with it. $126,000 in 5 years. Not counting the weekly dinners at our house where Jennifer brought the kids and I cooked. Not counting the babysitting. Not counting the time I'd spent helping them move, fixing their fence, replacing their garbage disposal. Not counting Martha's last 6 months when Jennifer visited twice. Both times for under an hour. Both times leaving because the kids were getting restless. Not counting the funeral when Jennifer had spent more time on her phone than talking to mourners. I'd given them everything they'd asked for. Said yes every time, written every check, made every excuse when Martha said maybe we should let them handle things themselves. They're struggling, I'd said. We can afford to help. And now my daughter had stolen her mother's ring to pay for Disney World. I sat at the kitchen table. Same table where Jennifer had done her homework. Same table where Martha and I had shared 43 years of dinners. Same table where I'd sat alone every night since February. The house was too big now. 4 bedrooms. Martha and I had planned to downsize. After you retire, she'd said. Then the cancer came and retirement planning turned into funeral planning. The bedroom where she died was down the hall. I'd moved into the guest room. Couldn't sleep in our bed anymore. Couldn't stop seeing her there, skeletal and yellow, fighting for each breath. Jennifer hadn't asked how I was doing, not in 8 months. She'd asked about the will, about the house value, about whether I'd thought about what comes next. 2 weeks after the funeral, she'd brought paperwork, executor forms, estate documents. Just need your signature, Dad. I'd signed, trusted her. Hadn't realized trust was something I should have reconsidered. My phone rang at 7:30. Unknown number. I answered. Mr. Sullivan? This is David Chen from Heritage Estate Jewelers. Your daughter brought in a ring today for certification and appraisal. I'm calling because there's an issue with the sale. I sat up, straight. What kind of issue? Well, sir, when I examined the ring, I recognized the maker's mark. This is a Cartier piece from the 1950s, original vintage Cartier. Your daughter said it was your late wife's wedding ring? It was. Sir, this ring is worth considerably more than the offer I made. I quoted $32,000 because I thought it was a contemporary piece, but this is a genuine vintage Cartier. With the original papers and box, we're looking at somewhere between $80,000 and $95,000. The room tilted. I'm calling because I have a professional obligation to inform you. Your daughter seemed eager to close quickly, and I don't feel comfortable completing a sale when there's this significant a gap between offer and value. Where is the ring now? Still here. I told your daughter I needed to do additional authentication before proceeding. She seemed frustrated, but she agreed to wait. Mr. Sullivan, I need to ask, do you consent to this sale? No, the ring is not for sale. My daughter had no authority to bring it to you. Silence. Then, I see. Would you like me to return it to you directly? Yes, I'll come get it tomorrow morning. I'll hold it for you. I'm very sorry for the confusion. He gave me the address. I wrote it down, hands shaking again. $95,000. Jennifer was going to sell it for $32,000, pocket the money, take her kids to Disney World, and I'd never have known what it was really worth. I called Harold back. I need to revoke Jennifer's power of attorney and her executor status, tonight if possible. Tom, it's 7:30. I know what time it is. Can you do it? Yes, but talk to me. What happened? I told him about the jeweler, about the value, about Jennifer trying to sell it anyway. Harold exhaled slowly. Jesus, Tom. Can you file the revocation first thing tomorrow? I'll file it tonight. I'll email you the forms, sign them and send them back. I'll file electronically with the court. What about the house? She has a key. Change your locks. Tonight if you can. Tomorrow morning at the latest. She'll show up. She'll be angry. Let her be angry. Document everything. If she threatens you, call the police. I mean that, Tom. Don't engage. Just call. I changed the locks myself. I'd installed them originally. Took me 90 minutes. My hands weren't as steady as they used to be, but I got it done. At 9 p.m., my phone started buzzing. Jennifer. I didn't answer. Voicemail. Dad, the jeweler called me. He said there's a problem with the authentication. I need you to confirm that you consent to the sale. Call me back. I deleted it. Another voicemail 10 minutes later. Dad, seriously, call me back. This is important. The buyer is getting nervous. We could lose the sale. I turned off my phone. Slept better than I had in months. The next morning, I drove to Heritage Estate Jewelers. Small shop downtown. David Chen met me at the counter. Mr. Sullivan, thank you for coming. He handed me a small box, the rosewood box, Martha's ring inside. I opened it. The ring caught the light. Gold band. Simple, beautiful. Exactly as I remembered sliding it onto Martha's finger in 1980. I apologize again for the confusion, David said. If you ever decide to sell, please contact me directly. I'd be happy to facilitate a proper sale at fair market value. I won't be selling. He nodded. I understand. Your wife was lucky to have someone who values her memory this much. I drove home, put the ring back on my dresser, back in the box, back where it belonged. At 10 a.m., someone pounded on my front door. Jennifer. I looked through the peephole. She was holding her phone, face red. I opened the door. Didn't invite her in. What the hell, Dad? The jeweler gave you the ring? I'm the executor. That's theft. No, you're not the executor anymore. Harold filed the revocation last night, and the ring was never part of the estate. It's my separate property. You stole it. Her mouth opened, closed. You can't just revoke. Already did. Check your email. Harold sent you the court filing this morning. She pulled out her phone, scrolled. Her face went white. You're not serious. Completely serious. Over a ring? You're destroying our relationship over a ring? You stole from me. You went into my bedroom, took your mother's ring, tried to sell it for $32,000 when it's worth $95,000. For a vacation. How did you? She stopped. That jeweler had no right to tell you that. He had every right. I'm the owner. Jennifer's hand clenched. Fine. You want to be stubborn? Keep the ring, but don't expect to see your grandchildren. Emma and Liam will grow up knowing their grandfather chose jewelry over them. They'll grow up knowing their mother stole from their grandfather. I did not steal. I was managing estate assets. You were stealing and lying, and you got caught. Her face twisted. Something ugly in her expression. You know what, Dad? Mom would be ashamed of you. She'd be disgusted that you're acting like this. She'd want that ring to bring joy to her grandchildren, not sit in a box in your depressing house where you wallow in self-pity. The words hit like a fist. I stepped back, started to close the door. Jennifer blocked it with her foot. We needed that money. Do you understand? Brad's hours got cut. We're behind on the mortgage. I was trying to fix things without bothering you. But sure, keep the ring. Let us lose the house. Let your grandchildren end up homeless. At least you'll have your precious ring to look at. You just said you needed it for Disney World. She blinked. What? Yesterday you said you and Brad were taking the kids to Disney World. You said the $32,000 was for the trip. Now you're saying you're losing the house? We were going to use part of it for the trip, the rest for the mortgage. How much? Is the mortgage? That's none of your... How much? $1,800 a month. We're 3 months behind. They're starting foreclosure proceedings. So you needed $5,400, but you were selling the ring for $32,000. Jennifer's face flushed darker. We have other debts, credit cards, medical bills. It's not just the mortgage. How much total? Dad, I don't have to... How much? About $15,000, okay? Are you happy? We're $15,000 in debt and facing foreclosure. I was trying to solve it by stealing a $95,000 ring and selling it for $32,000. I didn't know it was worth $95,000. You didn't ask, you didn't research, you just took it. Jennifer pulled her foot back. Fine, you're right, I screwed up. I should have asked. I'm sorry. Can we move past this? No. Dad, you said Emma and Liam would grow up knowing I chose a ring over them. Here's what they'll actually know. Their mother stole from their grandfather, lied about it, got caught, and instead of apologizing, she tried to manipulate him by using them as weapons. I am apologizing. No, you're trying to make me feel guilty, so I'll give you money. Her jaw tightened. So that's it? You're just going to let us lose the house? I already gave you $63,000 for the down payment. You promised to pay it back. I never saw a dollar. We were struggling. You're always struggling. There's always an emergency, always a crisis, always a reason why you need money but can never pay it back. Because we have kids. Do you know how expensive kids are? I raised one. I know exactly how expensive they are. Your mother and I did it without stealing from our parents. Jennifer's expression hardened. You know what? I'm done. Keep your ring, keep your money, keep your self-righteous attitude. But don't call me when you're old and sick and need someone to take care of you. Don't expect me to show up. I won't. She stared at me, waiting for me to crack, to apologize, to back down. I didn't. She left. I closed the door, locked it, new lock. She didn't have a key anymore. Sat back down at the kitchen table. Coffee was cold again. Third morning in a row. My phone rang. Harold, the revocation is filed. You're officially removed her as executor and power of attorney. She can contest it, but given the circumstances, I don't think she'll win. Thank you. Tom, I need to ask, are you sure about this? I know Jennifer made a mistake, but she's your daughter, your only child. She stole from me, Harold. Tried to sell her mother's ring for 1/3 of its value, then lied about why she needed the money. I know, but family is complicated. Maybe give it some time before I've given her 5 years and $126,000. I'm done giving. Harold was quiet. Then, okay, if you need anything else, call me. I hung up, went to my computer, opened my bank account, looked at the number, $287,000. Martha's life insurance, her retirement account, our savings, everything we'd built together. Jennifer had been asking when she'd get her inheritance. Just so I can plan, she'd said. I know you're not going anywhere soon, but it helps to know what's coming. She'd been planning on this money, counting on it. I opened a new document, started typing. My will, new version, without Harold's help. I'd finalize it with him later, but I wanted the bones down now while I was clear-headed. The house would be sold. Proceeds split between 3 charities. The Children's Hospital where Emma and Liam were born, the hospice organization that had helped Martha, and the Cartier Ring Scholarship Fund I was establishing for jewelry-making students. My savings would go the same way. Jennifer would get nothing. I felt no guilt writing it, just clarity. The woman who'd stolen her mother's ring didn't deserve her mother's legacy. I saved the document, emailed it to myself, printed 2 copies. The phone started ringing again. Jennifer, then Brad, then Jennifer again. I turned it off. 3 days went by. Quiet, no visitors, no calls when I turned the phone back on to check messages. On the 4th day, a car pulled into my driveway. Not Jennifer's. A silver Mercedes. Brad got out, alone. I watched through the window. He walked up slowly, knocked instead of pounding. I opened the door. Tom, can we talk? I didn't invite him in. What do you want? Jennifer told me what happened, with the ring. I'm not here to defend her. She was wrong. I waited. But I'm asking you to consider the kids. Emma keeps asking why you don't call. Liam cried last night because he thinks you're mad at him. I'm not mad at them. Then don't punish them for Jennifer's mistake. I'm not punishing anyone. Jennifer made a choice. She's dealing with consequences. Brad looked tired, older than his 40 years. We're really struggling, Tom. The mortgage thing is real. We're 2 weeks from foreclosure. I'm not asking for the ring money, but if there's any way you could help with the mortgage arrears, I swear we'll pay you back. I'll sign whatever you want." "You signed papers for the 15,000. Never paid that back either." He flinched. "I know. The business failed. I couldn't. You could have gotten a job faster. You could have skipped the new car. You could have lived on less. We have kids. That's not an excuse. That's a responsibility. One you keep asking me to handle for you." Brad's jaw worked. "So you're just going to let us lose the house? I gave you the down payment, $63,000. That was supposed to be paid back. It wasn't. I'm not giving you more." "That was years ago. We were different people. You were people who made promises and didn't keep them. You still are." Brad's expression hardened. "Jennifer said you've changed since Martha died. I didn't believe her. But she's right. You're cold now. Mean. I'm clear. You're alone. That's what you are. And you're going to die alone in this house, bitter and angry, with no family around you. Is that really what you want? What I want is to not be stolen from. What I want is to not be lied to. What I want is for people to stop acting like I'm an ATM that owes them a payout just because we share DNA." Brad stepped back. "Fine, I tried, but remember this conversation when you're 80 and alone and wondering why nobody visits." He left. I closed the door. Didn't feel cold. Didn't feel mean. Felt tired. That night, I took out the ring again. Held it. The gold was warm, worn thin in places. Martha's finger had done that. 43 years of wear. She'd have hated what Jennifer did. Would have been heartbroken, but she also would have said, "Tom, she's our daughter. She made a mistake. People make mistakes." I'd made this mistake for 5 years. Kept giving, kept enabling, kept telling myself it was help when it was really just making Jennifer dependent. Martha would have set boundaries years ago. She'd been the strong one. The one who could say no. I'd always been the softer parent. The one who gave in. Maybe that was the problem. A week passed. Then 2. My neighbor, Dorothy, knocked on my door. Older woman, widow. We'd been friends for 30 years. "Tom, I ran into Jennifer at the grocery store. She says you two aren't speaking." "That's correct." Dorothy frowned. "What happened?" I told her. All of it. The ring, the lies, the money, the years of giving without getting. Dorothy listened, didn't interrupt. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. "Tom, can I be honest?" "Always." "I watched Jennifer grow up. She was a sweet kid, but Martha spoiled her. You both did. And when Martha got sick, Jennifer pulled away because she couldn't handle it. Some people are like that. Can't face hard things." "That's not an excuse." "No, but it's context. Jennifer has never had to struggle. You've always caught her, so when you stopped catching her, she panicked. She stole from me, Dorothy. I know, and that was wrong. I'm not defending her. But I'm asking, what do you want the end of this story to be?" "I want her to take responsibility. To apologize. Really apologize. Not just say sorry so I'll give her money." "Have you told her that?" I hadn't. Dorothy patted my hand. "Think about it. You're a good man, Tom, but you're hurt. Hurt people sometimes make decisions they regret later." She left. I thought about it. What did I want? An apology, real remorse. Acknowledgement of what she'd done, but more than that. Changed behavior. Proof that she understood boundaries, that she wouldn't just come back asking for money in 6 months. I didn't know if Jennifer was capable of that. 3 weeks after the ring incident, my phone rang. Unknown number again. "Mr. Sullivan, this is Linda Reeves from Oakmont Elementary. I'm calling about your granddaughter Emma." My chest tightened. "Is she okay?" "She's fine physically, but she's been very withdrawn in class. Her teacher is concerned. Emma mentioned that she hasn't seen you in several weeks and seems to think you're angry with her. I know this might not be my place, but is everything all right?" "It's complicated." "I understand, but Emma is struggling. She's 7. She doesn't understand complicated. She just knows her grandfather isn't around anymore." After I hung up, I sat for a long time. Emma hadn't done anything wrong. Neither had Liam. They were kids caught between their mother's choices and my boundaries. I called Harold. I want to set up a trust for Emma and Liam. Education expenses only. Managed by you, not Jennifer. Can you do that? Of course. How much? $50,000, $25,000 each. Covers college if they go to state schools. More if they get scholarships. That's generous, Tom. It's for them, not for Jennifer. I'll draft the documents. Then I did something harder. I called Jennifer. She answered on the first ring. Dad? I want to see Emma and Liam. Silence. Then, why? Because they're my grandchildren, and they didn't do anything wrong. So you'll see them but not me? I'll see them at public places. Parks, library, places where we can visit without you and me having to interact. That's ridiculous. That's the offer. Jennifer was quiet. I could hear her breathing. Fine. Saturdays at Grant Park, 10 a.m. I'll drop them off. Okay. Dad? She stopped. Nothing. I'll bring them Saturday. She hung up. Saturday morning I drove to Grant Park. Got there 15 minutes early. Brought a ball. Some books Emma liked. A new model car kit for Liam. Jennifer's car pulled up at 10. The kids got out, ran toward me. Grandpa! Emma crashed into me. Liam right behind her. I hugged them both, tight. Over their heads, I saw Jennifer watching from the car. Her expression was unreadable. She drove away. I spent 2 hours with the kids. We played catch, read stories, built half the model car. Emma asked why I hadn't visited. Grandpa and your mom had a disagreement. Adults sometimes disagree. Did you make up? Not yet. Are you going to? I don't know, sweetheart. Liam looked worried. Is it our fault? No, absolutely not. This has nothing to do with you. Mom said you're mad about Grandma's ring. I looked at him, 9 years old, too young to understand. Your mom took something that belonged to me without asking. That wasn't okay. But that's between me and her, not between me and you. Oh, he thought about it. Like when Joey took my Pokemon cards without asking. Exactly like that. I was really mad at Joey. I bet you were. Are you really mad at Mom? Yes. Did she say sorry? Not really. She should say sorry. That's what you're supposed to do when you take something without asking. Out of the mouths of children, Jennifer picked them up at noon. The kids ran to her car, talking over each other about the model car and the stories. Jennifer looked at me. Thank you. I nodded. She drove away. It became routine. Every Saturday, 10 a.m., 2 hours. Jennifer and I didn't speak beyond logistics. She'd text the night before to confirm. I'd reply with one word. Yes. A month in, she texted something different. Can we talk? I didn't respond. She tried again. Please, Dad, I need to talk to you. About what? About everything. About the ring. About us. Please. I thought about Dorothy's question. What did I want the end of this story to be? Okay. Grant Park, next Saturday, 12:30, after I see the kids. Okay. That Saturday, the kids left at noon. I sat on the bench, waited. Jennifer walked over, sat down, left space between us. Thank you for seeing them every week. It means a lot to them. I didn't respond. She took a breath. I'm sorry, really sorry. Not because I want something, because I was wrong. I waited. I shouldn't have taken the ring. I shouldn't have gone into your room. I shouldn't have tried to sell it without asking you. I was desperate and stupid, and I convinced myself it was okay because I'm the executor and you weren't using it anyway. She stopped. But it wasn't okay. It was theft, and it was a betrayal. Why were you desperate? Brad's hours got cut in December. We've been behind on everything since then. The mortgage, credit cards, medical bills from when Liam broke his arm. I was panicking. I thought if I could just get a chunk of money, we could catch up and breathe. Why didn't you ask me? She looked away. Because I knew what you'd say. What would I have said? That we needed to budget better. That we needed to cut expenses. That you'd already helped us enough. Her voice cracked. And you would have been right, but I didn't want to hear it. I wanted someone to just fix it without making me feel like a failure. I watched her. She was crying, not performing. Actually, crying. I've been a bad daughter, Dad. Since Mom died, I've been selfish and awful. I didn't visit her enough when she was sick because I couldn't handle it. I didn't visit you after because I didn't know what to say. And then I just kept asking for money like you were a bank, instead of a person. Why are you telling me this now? Because I've been going to therapy. Brad insisted, said our marriage was falling apart and we needed help. The therapist asked me to make a list of people I'd hurt and how. You were at the top. She wiped her eyes. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect anything. But I needed to tell you I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry. I sat with that. What about the house? The foreclosure? We worked it out. Borrowed money from Brad's parents. They made us sign a contract, actual legal contract, payment schedule, consequences if we default. It was humiliating, but it worked. We're caught up now. And Disney World? She laughed bitterly. Yeah, that was never happening. I told the kids we'd go someday when we could afford it. Emma said that was okay. She'd rather have a room than Disney World anyway. Jennifer looked at me. She's smarter than her mother. The ring is worth $95,000. Jennifer's face went pale. I know. The jeweler called me after he talked to you. I felt sick. I almost sold Mom's ring for a third of its value because I was too lazy to research it properly. What would you have done with the difference? Between the 32 you thought you'd get and the 15 you needed? Probably spent it. New furniture, maybe a vacation eventually. Things we didn't need. She shook her head. I was so focused on short-term relief that I wasn't thinking long-term. Wasn't thinking about you. Wasn't thinking about Mom's memory. Just thinking about me. Do you understand why I reacted the way I did? Yes. You'd lost Mom. The ring was all you had left of her. And I tried to take it like it was nothing. She met my eyes. If someone had tried to take something of Brad's after he died, I'd have burned their house down. But I did it to you and expected you to just accept it. We sat in silence. I set up a trust for Emma and Liam, I said finally. Education expenses, $50,000 total. Harold manages it, not you. Jennifer nodded. Thank you. That's more than they need. More than we deserve. It's not for you, it's for them. I know. I changed my will. You're not inheriting the house or the savings. It's going to charity. She flinched but nodded. Okay. If you change. If you really change. Maybe I'll reconsider. But right now, I don't trust you. I understand. And if you ever take something of mine again, anything, we're done. Permanently. No more Saturdays, no more grandkids, nothing. I won't, I swear. Words are easy, Jennifer. Behavior is what counts. I know. She stood up. Thank you for listening, and thank you for still seeing Emma and Liam. They need you. She walked back to her car. I watched her go. Didn't feel resolved. Didn't feel better, but felt like maybe it was a start. The Saturdays continued. Sometimes Jennifer would sit in her car and wait. Sometimes she'd leave and come back. We didn't talk beyond logistics, but Emma and Liam bloomed. They relaxed, laughed more, asked questions about Martha, about what I was like when Jennifer was little, about the house and the workshop and the things I built. I started teaching Liam woodworking, basic stuff, measuring, sanding. He loved it. Emma wanted to learn about plants. Martha's garden was overgrown, but we started fixing it together, pulled weeds, planted new flowers. Emma said it made her feel close to Grandma. 3 months after the conversation in the park, Jennifer texted, Brad got a promotion. We're stable now. I wanted you to know. I replied. Good. A week later. Liam's birthday is Saturday. We're having a party at the house. Would you come? I stared at the text for a long time. Typed and deleted responses. Finally. What time? 2 p.m. Just family and a few of Liam's friends. Nothing fancy. I'll be there. Saturday came. I showed up with the finished model car kit. A big one. Aircraft carrier. Took Liam and me 2 months of Saturdays to finish. Jennifer opened the door. "Dad, thank you for coming." I stepped inside. First time in her house since before Martha died. Everything looked the same, except the photos. There were new ones on the wall. Martha, me, the kids. Family photos I didn't remember taking. Brad came over, shook my hand. "Tom, good to see you." "Brad, I want to apologize for what I said that day, about you dying alone. That was cruel. It was honest. It was mean. You had every right to be angry. I'm sorry." I nodded. The party was loud. Kids everywhere. Liam opened presents, went crazy over the aircraft carrier, hugged me hard. "Thank you, Grandpa. This is the best present ever." Emma dragged me outside to show me her garden at home. A small plot in the corner of the yard. Flowers starting to bloom. "I planted them like you showed me. Look, they're growing." "You did a good job, sweetheart." "Do you think Grandma would like it?" "She'd love it." Inside, I found Jennifer in the kitchen, cutting cake. "Thank you for coming," she said again. "It means everything to them, to us. I didn't do it for us. I did it for them." "I know, but still, thank you." I watched her cut precise slices, arrange them on plates. She'd always been meticulous. Martha's daughter in that way. "The garden photos on the wall," I said. "I don't remember taking those." "Mom took them. I found them on her phone after she died. There's hundreds. She was always taking pictures of you with the kids. With me, with Dad. She wanted to remember everything." My throat tightened. I printed my favorites, put them up last month. I wanted the kids to see her every day, to remember her. She'd like that. Jennifer set down the knife. "Dad, I know I don't have the right to ask this, but I'm going to anyway. Is there a path back, for us? Not to how it was before. That was broken, but to something better?" I thought about Dorothy's question, about Martha's ring on my dresser, about Emma's garden and Liam's model carrier and 2 hours every Saturday that had become the best part of my week. "Maybe," I said, "if you keep doing what you're doing. Going to therapy, managing money better, respecting boundaries, not asking for things you can't pay back." She nodded. "I can do that." Then, maybe. It wasn't forgiveness. Not yet. But it was possibility. And for now, that was enough. 6 months later, I was in my workshop when Jennifer's car pulled up. Unscheduled. Middle of the week. I tensed. Old habit. She got out, walked over, held out an envelope. "What's this?" "Open it." Inside was a check. $5,000. And a payment schedule. $500 a month for the next 11 months. Another $500 a month for the next several years after that. "It's not everything," Jennifer said. "Not even close, but it's a start. We're paying you back. For the down payment, for the car, for the business loan, all of it." I stared at the check. "You don't have to." "Yes, I do. We do. It's not about the money, Dad. It's about showing you we're serious, that we're changing, that we're not who we were." I looked at my daughter. She looked different. Older, maybe, but also lighter, less desperate. "Okay," I said. She smiled. "Okay. Do you want to stay for coffee?" She blinked. "Really?" "If you have time." "I have time." We went inside. I made coffee. We sat at the kitchen table, the same table where this had all started, with her standing in the doorway talking about selling her mother's ring. "I think about that day a lot," Jennifer said. "How close I came to losing you. You did lose me, for a while. But you came back. You gave me a chance. I gave Emma and Liam a chance. You earned your way back." She wrapped her hands around the mug. Martha's mug. The blue one with white trim. "I'm not going to screw this up again, Dad. I promise." "Don't promise. Just do it." She nodded. "Okay, I'll just do it." We drank coffee, talked about the kids, about Brad's job, about her therapy, about my plans to downsize eventually, maybe sell the house. When you do, Jennifer said, don't feel obligated to leave it to me. I mean that. You should do what you want with it. I'll think about it. When she left, I sat alone in the quiet house, thought about the year, about the ring, about boundaries and consequences and second chances, thought about Martha. What she'd think of all this. She'd be glad, I decided. Glad that I'd stood up for myself. Glad that Jennifer had done the work. Glad that the kids had their grandfather back. I went to the bedroom, opened the rosewood box. Martha's ring caught the light. Someday, maybe I'd give it to Emma. When she was older. Old enough to understand what it meant. Old enough to value it not for dollars, but for legacy. But for now, it stayed with me. A reminder of 43 years with a woman who'd loved me, who'd taught me to be strong when I needed to be, who'd want me to protect what mattered. I closed the box, set it back on the dresser, and went to make dinner for one. But tomorrow was Saturday, and at 10 a.m., Emma and Liam would run across Grant Park and crash into me with hugs and stories. And maybe after, Jennifer would text to ask about coffee, and maybe I'd say yes. If you like this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.